Starfleet intelligence has decoded the list of Riemann targets that you recovered from the vault. I need you to investigate one of these locations and determine why Obisek and his forces planned an attack there. The Vahar system is still technically part of the Romulan Star Empire, but Ferengi speculators have moved in, and the Empress has done nothing to remove them. The Ferengi have reopened the mines and are now doing business with anyone with Latinum. You will go to the Vahar system under the pretense of negotiating a possible trade agreement with the Federation. Talk to Madron, the operator of the mines. Convince him to allow you access. Find out all you can. Once we know why Obisek and the Remans are targeting these mines, then we will be able to decide how to proceed.
You've stuck your nose in our business for the last time, Starfleet. All ships, attack! Attack!
This moon is private property. No solicitors, beggars, or Starfleet allowed.
Hello, my good friends. I'm so happy to meet you. Perhaps you are in the market for some high-quality magnesite? We have the finest ore in the quadrant. On behalf of the miners and residents here, I'm more than happy to welcome you to our home. Please transport to the surface. Unfortunately, the large amount of extremely pure magnesite ore in the core of our little world will interfere with your sensors. For safety reasons, I must insist that you use the transporter signal enhancers that I have installed at my own expense. Also, I know you Starfleet types are so fond of your away teams, but could you please restrict the number of crew you bring down to the surface? My people here aren't used to strangers, and you wouldn't want to disrupt their work, would you? Sharing my Tranya stash with you. So, why don't we skip the chit-chat and get down to business? Unfortunately, I cannot call this mine my own. I'm just a middleman. Out of the goodness of my heart, I help the residents here pass on the products of their hard work to commercial entities such as yourself. The minuscule transaction fee and trade tariff I keep to offset my expenses is figured into the unit cost of the ore. My operation has become one of the best in the area because of the high demand for my services from both sides. I provide the best mining equipment and supplies in the sector to the miners, while my customers get competitive pricing on the ore they need. I don't pay much attention to that. Miners have empty carts, and they return with ones filled with ore. If you're that interested, you could visit the mines themselves, but I don't recommend it. It's such a dirty, disagreeable business, and I'm convinced that breathing ore dust for too long is terrible for you. The miners who live near my quarters used to keep me up night after night with their dreadful coughing. I had to install soundproofing just to get some sleep. Are you sure you wouldn't rather have... Are you sure you wouldn't rather look at the ore I have for sale? Really? Suit yourself. Just remember, contract to export magnesite ore from this moon. If you try to cut me out of your deals, you'll regret it.
I don't have time to talk to you right now. I need to repair this drill so I can make a living. Not unless you know anything about laser induction coils. You don't by any chance know anything about laser induction coils, do you? If I ask Modron for a replacement laser induction coil, he'll charge me 100 times what it's worth. He's the only one who brings supplies to this planet. I remember when we had regular contact with the home world and my brother there would send a package of sweets for my children in every transport. Now, I can't dwell on the past. My problem is this broken drill. I have to fix it or I won't make quota. We salvage parts from old equipment and sometimes other people here will trade components. But this requires some specific components. If you think you can help me, I'll mark your map with the locations of some people who might have what we need.
You don't hurt me. I don't have the latinum now, but I can... Oh? Modron did... I have a daughter in the radar system. I thought I could contact her to send me some latinum. But Modron won't let me use the subspace array. You see, I owe him some money. And I didn't make my quota last month because I was sick and... But that's life, isn't it? All you can do is try to hang on to whatever you have left. I'll give you the part you need. Take it, and I hope it solves your problem.
Thank you. With these parts, I can fix this drill and get back to work. I need to make my quota today or Modron will cut my pay again. I already owe him so much latinum, I don't know how I'll ever repay it. He brings in food and supplies that we need, but the prices are so high. I remember the dark days after we lost Romulus. There were no supply shipments for months. I had to listen to my children cry because they were so hungry. I might spend the rest of my life in debt, but I have a life. To answer your question, though, I don't know what makes this mine different from any other mine. The magnesite isn't any different. Maybe there are some veins with less impurities in the lower levels of the mine. I wouldn't know. There's a group of thugs who keep everyone away from those areas. And I won't risk a beating just to satisfy my curiosity. If you want to risk checking it out, that's your business.
You want to go in the mine? Are you really interested in buying any magnesite? Or are you just here to cause trouble? Because if it's the last one, I know someplace you can start a little ruckus. There's a gang that controls the bottom levels of the mine. They won't even let me in there. Previously, I allowed them to keep their little kingdom in exchange for information. But lately, they've been more trouble than they're worth. And the intel they're feeding me is useless. Honestly, who doesn't know about the green invasion of the fairy space?
With all due respect, sir, there is a difference between protecting the Empire from her enemies and provoking.
There is much here you do not understand. The Remans need to know their place. As do you, I will not get you as a nation commander. The Tall Shiar has no place for officers who cannot follow orders. I'll be in the command center.
Colonel, they were civilians. Their blood is on our hands.
Get used to it. There will be more. Speaking of which,
Why don't you clean out the brig before you become a resident there?
I almost feel sorry for you, but I have my own neck to worry about. I'll be joining you in there soon enough. If Hakeem has his way, we all will. Enough! I surrender. I value my life more than the Tal Shiar's secrets. I'll tell you anything you want to know. But first, you must tell me why you are here and what you want. The Remans know about this base? Impossible! Only the leadership of the Tal Shiar know we're here. The Empress herself couldn't find us. I don't believe you, but it makes no difference. This is not a military installation. We listen and record here. Nothing more. There are many targets that those Reman scum would find much more tempting. Colonel Hakeem will want my blood for this, but take my security code. You can use it to access the control room. You'll find everything you're looking for there.
Because if you did, remember, I have an exclusive contract. And what's it to you? This is a rough area of the quadrant, you know, and they're good neighbors. If you're not easily embarrassed, their cameras and listening devices are everywhere. I haven't had a single problem with Orions or Herodians since they moved in. And it doesn't hurt that I acquired a bit of information here and there. I'm a businessman, and information means business. Unfortunately, no. I'll admit, I was trying to find out, but their systems were locked down tight. I'm sure whatever it was had to be big news. Everyone was on edge. Janik and Hakeem were barely speaking, and I once heard Hakeem mumbling something about orders. Someone's been pulling his strings, but I don't know who. I do know that Tal Shiar takes security very seriously. If you manage to pull any files from their system, you can expect them to be heavily encoded. Trust me on that. I speak from experience. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go talk 100 Romulans into digging a new mine to replace the one you destroyed. My profit margin for this month is ruined.
The Tal Shiar records you recovered showed that Hakiv and his forces have been targeting the Remans for months. Obasek and his followers have been driven from their homes, had their ships destroyed, and their loved ones killed or imprisoned. Some might say that Obasek's campaign against the Tal Shiar is just. However, Obasek was planning on using Thalaron weapons in the Bahar system, which would have killed hundreds of innocent civilians as well as the Tal Shiar cell there. This is the problem with revenge. Violence and fury only create more pain and suffering. I have